I would get through, and then the days would fly by, and it'd be like, how are we at day 21? Little hands. And then the daylight comes, and it's so much better. And I remember thinking like, okay, only 2 more times, only 1 more time. I think Lily's gonna help me hold the camera there. She might try to move it. Oh boy. I think it'd be kind of fun to do like a new parent series. The random things that you wonder about when you're young and don't have kids. And I don't know, I was just so curious about having a baby, and now I have one and she's wonderful. Being a new mom is a lot. I was thinking for this first video I would talk about what it's like to wake up in the middle of the night and have to feed a baby at the very beginning when it is every 2 to 3 hours or more. If you're breastfeeding or if you're not, it is so fun. I was breastfeeding in the beginning, and it definitely was so hard to be the one that she's dependent on in the middle of the night. But you definitely just do it, which you just won't know until you're in that position. But honestly, it's so different than you can be described, because you have like mom adrenaline or dad adrenaline or whatever, and it takes over. It's wonderful. It definitely, you realize how valuable it is to have extra hands and have your partner, someone who understands you and forgives you a lot. I found it really helpful, I mentioned this in our nursery tour, just to have a journal. So before bed, because she was so little, it didn't matter if the light was on, but I'd have like a night light, and I would write in it of what we did that day, who we saw, if we got outside, just to like feel like the days were counting. Let's go by the water. I'm starting to get a little hot though in the sun. Yeah, you don't think of it though as like a 24-hour schedule. It's more so just, we're doing it. The hardest part was just having different appointments to get to in the beginning, or like my husband had to step away, like the anxiety of that, but also knowing like, okay, he's about to be back, someone I can call. And I had a really hard time just finding help, but we eventually did. Or you just start to grow your confidence with it too. And then like on the absolute worst nights where she isn't sleeping and it is like just the highest emotions of being a new parent, then they do something adorable that just like wins you back so bless you so quickly. And there's like so much power in like the tiniest little smile, or all of a sudden they like actually look at you and you're like, oh my gosh, you see me. I'd say the first week, even though it's so hard, you're just so transformed too, like, and on a high. And then it's like harder the weeks after that, as it like is continually hard, and you're like, okay, when will she sleep? Just another hour, and then you want another hour after that, and then you just want it to keep getting longer until it's back to normal. But it may not be back to normal quite as soon as you expect, or you might just get a baby that does sleep through the night and you're still exhausted. That's okay. And I'm a very tired, lazy sometimes, just need my rest, and I'm surviving, and that's amazing. Absolutely incredible that I made it as long as I did. So she would wake up, and then I would feed her for 20, and then have to pump for at least 20, and then clean the parts, just like wash them out and then put them in the fridge. And like it would just wake me up so much that by the time I would fall asleep, I would get the tiniest rest and have to do it again. And there's like this weird thing about being so exhausted and not being able to sleep. And I feel like having a second kid, I would definitely understand myself so much better as a parent. And there's just so much grace you need as you are figuring it out, and figuring out like this part I thought was so important, not important. Now what I care about is XYZ. I don't know, there's a part of me that wants to draw it so romantically and romanticize how great it is, but I'm still in the thick of it and not getting great sleep because of different stages or growth spurts or whatever. But it is something that does get blurred. Like, it is the most memorable time, but also the most blurry time. I just think given more time, more perspective, I will miss different things, and that's okay to miss it. It's kind of like leaving high school, where it's kind of hard to forget the bullies or the time stuck inside indoors and all the homework and whatever, but eventually you do forget how hard the homework was or different things. Oh, Lily's talking. Not sure if the camera picks it up every time I'm smiling at the screen, but that is why. What? I'm gonna wrap it up that the sleep stuff is crazy, but you just do it and you know it's progressing and you get help, and you also have these like really rewarding moments that get you through it, hopefully. Each kid's different. Some kids it's just the tiniest little reward, but you do get them, I think, at least from my experience. So babies are great. And please help new moms. They really do need it. All right, that's all for this one. Bye, guys.